Good afternoon, Transformers fans. Frosty Knives here. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite Transformers from when I was a kid. We're going to talk about Jetfire. Now, folks, this isn't my original Jetfire. The original Jetfire that I had when I was a child, I foolishly sold, and so this was something I had to repurchase. As you can tell, this little fellow here is not in the best of shape. Looks like he's got some wear and tear, some yellowing. I'm missing some of his components. I don't have his gun, and I'm missing the other side of his battle armor here. You can see. So this was a classic back in the day. This is a really nice figure. I played a lot with it as a child. It looks really good. It looks really nice in jet mode. I thought its jet mode was fantastic looking, especially with all the battle armor on it and the giant Autobot symbol on the nose cone. This was, for those of you that may remember, this is the VF1 Super Valkyrie from the Macross line, what we know as Robotech. And this is a mold that Hasbro, they didn't get this from Takara, like the Diaclone and the Microman. They got this from Takatoku Toys, who did the Macross line in Japan. So this actually came from Bandai. There's a Bandai stamp on the bottom. And so this is a cross collectible. For folks that like Transformers and for folks that like Robotech, Macross. This is a really nice figure. This isn't a really nice figure. This one's had some wear and tear. It's got some loose joints and some bang ups and whatever. But overall, this was a very nice model. This was one of my favorites as a child. As you can see, it has flip out landing gear here, and there was landing gear in his feet here. That's what happens when the battle armor goes flying off. And you could, spring-loaded landing gear. In jet mode, it looks very good. Unless you turn it over, you don't really see much of the robot. So jet mode looks very nice. This model actually had 3 transformations. For those of you that may have remembered the cartoon, it had a jet mode, had a robot mode, and it had a third mode, which was the Gerwalk mode, or what some people like to call chicken walkers. So here's his jet mode, and I'm just going to go ahead and take all the battle armor off him, because when you transform him, as you just saw, the battle armor is just going to fall off him anyway. So we'll take that off. We'll streamline to here. So here he is, naked, without his battle armor. Oops, forgot to take this one off. I'm just going to fold up his landing gear here, just like that. And that's what he looks like in naked mode. Battle armorless mode. So Gerwalk mode, which actually did stand for something. What you would do is all of the robot bits of him basically fold underneath his jet body. So here's his legs, which you would I always just folded down. Now you're going to have to bear with me because, like I said, this figure has it's very loose. And basically the entire jet folds in half right here. So I'm just going to have to keep this here. So you fold his legs down, just like that. I'm going to flip his arms out right here. And put his arms to the side, just like that. And then you're going to fold his legs back in. And bend them at the knee. Now you're going to have to fiddle with it because you got to make sure that the arms are at the right angle. Otherwise, you'll snap a joint, a shoulder joint here. So we're going to go ahead and put that like that. Hold his arms down like this. Slide his hands out. Flip his feet open. And this is what's commonly known as Gerwalk mode. Looks like a hybrid of, he's half robot and half transformer, half jet. And the idea was, at least in the Battle Macross line, is that the jets would sort of land and be these mobile jets with all of the power behind them. So there he is. I didn't put any of the battle armor back on him, but Jetfire's Gerwalk mode. And from here, it's just a matter of putting him into robot mode. So we take his legs and they fold all the way down, just like this. And they're actually going to slide. I don't know if you can see it. Slide into these joints here. Here's his feet. And then fold his wings out. Flip this up just a little bit here. Flip this little middle piece up. That's where his head will poke through. The chest piece part slides down. And then basically his head slides through. And then I'm going to fold his arms out like that. And then this all folds down. Flip that back up. Flip his back up. Put his wings down. Raise his head. You can fold his arms down. And there is Jetfire. You can see here, I don't know if you can see it, but his right shoulder joint, little broken right there. Like I said, this figure looks like it's been through the ringer. But here he is in robot mode. This was a very nice figure, and when it came out, this was one of the most posable and articulated figures that Hasbro had. His head can swivel. His shoulders are ratcheted. Both shoulders are ratcheted. No bull joints in this guy. His shoulders go up and down like that. His elbows move here. Both elbows. So you like that. His legs will move at the hips here. They move here. Then he's got a knee joint like that. A little bit forward and back. Forward and back there. So he was one of the most articulated figures that Hasbro had at the time. I'm just going to go ahead and put his battle armor back on him. Battle armor is nice. Whoever owned this fellow, in addition to busting him up, well, at least they didn't put his decals on. So this isn't complete. I don't have his weaponry, and I'm missing some of his leg armor. But I was at least glad to get it back in some condition anyway. And there's his leg armor there. So that's Jetfire with most of his battle armor on. And his jetpack on the back. He's a very sought after figure. You can pick one up. I highly recommend you do it. Find one better than this little fella here. But I got him as part of a lot when I purchased a rather large lot of. Look what they did. Someone painted over his rub sign. That's marker. Look at his rub sign on his head. Gone. Like someone tried to give him a wig. So he's in bad shape, overall. Probably Probably couldn't sell this for too much, but a lot of wear and tear and dings and bangs and doinks and things like that. But he's still my favorite. Jetfire, Skyfire. Very nice figure. If you can pick one up, I highly recommend it.